Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck this place!
That's beautiful. So nice.
We had Greg on the pod a while back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You did our show in LA, but I wasn't there that week.
Was it the one that was like at the restaurant, but it was outside?
Yeah, the weird show.
Yeah. I remember
hopefully.
thinking that show was going to be super weird up until the second I was on stage, and it was so fun.
Okay,
it was like really fun. And I don't know if I set the bar low because it was like outside and there wasn't really very many people, but I remember having a fucking blast once I was going.
Yeah, it was a weird show, and that's why I always felt weird booking people, but like, hey, it's still stage time, but this is weird. But if you it, you'd have fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that describes a lot of LA shows, though.
Yeah,
it's weird, and it is stage time. You know, it's not an open mic, and so you can come, and there will be some people. I can't tell you who they are, or how many of them there will be, but I feel like that's. I mean, it's actually a decent baseline.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think any LA show prepares you for anything other than LA shows. but like it's still like a stage time, you get to work out at least one or two good jokes.
Well, we should introduce the podcast, I think. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, stand-up comic. You've heard him on Sirius XM's Laugh USA radio, but he's with us here today, Mr. Sumukh Torgalkar. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for doing it. What's been going on with you? How are you doing? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing well, slowly easing back into live stand-up. So I did my first set in 16 months last night. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So it
How'd
was
that
good.
go?
How'd it feel?
It still felt great, but, the rust is still there a little.
Yeah.
You're in Colorado right now?
Yeah. So now I'm out here. So the show was in Fort Collins. It was great, like a brewing company, and it was cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to work on the new stuff you wrote during the pandemic. Time it's like, all right, I was hashing that all out on virtual shows. It's like not the same thing, and you don't know about timing.
Yeah.
But it was still good.
I've done two now in 16 months. I had one go pretty fun, pretty good time. And the other was so bad, like so bad. And it was like, in both cases, I was like, oh yeah, stand-up is exactly where I left it. Like nothing.
The State of the Union is
no hit throughout COVID. Like, despite what people think, it's like, came back. It's like small crowds. They think I'm just okay. All right.
Small crowds. They're mad that they are there.
Yeah. Right where I left you, baby.
Thank you for your begrudging laughs. I've done nothing, so I have no reports other than love the pod.
Nice.
Well, Smoke, we should just jump straight into our first segment that we do on every podcast. It's a segment that we call Fuck This Place ? Where we look at Craigslist posts and we decide if we would work there or not. So you are originally from Cleveland, correct?
Yes.
Ohio.
Yes.
The Buckeye State, is that true?
That's correct.
Hell yeah. And so we've actually looked up some Craigslist posts from Cleveland. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the title to 3. You're going to pick the one you definitely don't want to click on, and then we're going to look at the other 2 and decide if we would work there or not.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
So post number 1, title is Need a Female House Cleaner. Post number 2, Pizza Delivery Driver, $18 per hour, 1,000 sign-on bonus. It does not say $1,000, just to be clear. It says 1,000, but it does say it is 1,000.00. So I do think that they mean dollars, but we can't know for sure about the title. And then the last one is Need a Sad Clown for Brother's Birthday. Which one do you not want to click on? Female house cleaner, the delivery driver with a possible bonus of 1,000 of something, or Need a Sad Clown for Brother's Birthday? Which one's out?
And this is not me being gender biased, but I'm going to remove female house cleaner.
Yeah, you're not going to make it past the first. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it past the first phone call. And we also know the person's a motherfucking creep.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to like push the issue there. Okay, let's just jump straight into pizza delivery driver. 18. I also should note, For those who are listening, it just says $18 sign per hour. So again, we do assume that these are dollars, but it could be anything. Pizza delivery driver, $18 per hour, 1,000 decimal 00 sign on bonus.
It says here in parentheses, Lyndhurst and Willoughby. What can you tell me that's going on in Lyndhurst and Willoughby that's going to cause this guy to give you $1,000 extra to be there?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's knowing Cleveland, that's that bad of a spot. I guess it depends on which areas of Lyndhurst and Willoughby you're in. I don't get the sign-on bonus.
We don't. We do not get it. Well, perhaps the post will lead us in that direction, but I don't have a lot of faith. I do think Lyndhurst and Willoughby sounds like a law firm as well. So just FYI.
It sounds like a law firm in a play.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a Popeye.
I will tell you guys, there was a comedy club in Willoughby.
Really?
Not last, likely because it was in Willoughby.
Got it.
Do a comedy club like in the suburbs of Cleveland. And
right. Comedy clubs are not well known for being suburban hotspots.
Right.
Of like, if you go right past South Point Mall and take a left, right, it's right by the Chipotle.
Well, I think it's because comedy clubs love to try to be in a place that they're not welcome.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like there's never Sacramento Punchline is like my favorite comedy club, and it's next to like a mattress store. Like it's just so I think it's the arrogance of comedy club owners to be like, yeah, you put one anywhere, it'll probably work.
Yeah, so why not Willoughby? Okay, let's see what the post says. It says, looking to fill 2 full-time and 1 part-time positions. So they have lost all their drivers in a fatal car accident. We have a very flexible
Domino's-related car accident.
Yeah, it might have been, but they were hunted by the Pizza Hut guys. We have a very flexible schedule. We have spots open on the team. Yeah, I'm sure it's flexible because there's no one working. We have spots open on the team for as few as 6 to 10 hours a week and as much as 50
hours a week delivering pizzas.
That's a lot of hours for pizza. Then it says your choice.
Those are the 2 choices, 6 to 10 or 50.
Yeah. 6 hours is like 1 shift, like 1, maybe 2 3-hour shifts, like just like weirdly. But yeah, your choice seems like, I don't know. It seems like it seems like if you're even a half decent driver, they're going to push you to 50 right away. Anyway, then it says, please reach out. Some of these people are just straight up desperate. Great full-time moneymaker, a great second job, or part-time gig. So literally anything. This could be your full-time moneymaker, or it could be your second job, or you know what, maybe just part-time because you're retired. I don't know.
So like right away, you got to feel like the guy who owns this place is like crouching behind the counter right now, like desperately typing this. And there are people just throwing shit at the window trying to get in to get their pizza. This is in a bad way right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
yeah, no.
I'll take any help, anything, please. Yeah. He has one of those big giant like army phones where he's like trying to call in, trying to
wearing a helmet.
For some kind of airstrike to help him.
Yeah, no, this person's in a tough spot. I think that's clear. That's super clear.
And the thing is, he could have ended at like, we are very flexible, but then decided to add 4 more sentences that seem insane about the flexibility.
Yeah, correct. We are very flexible means that there is hours for you. Just give me a call. But again, please reach out has some very desperate energy.
Yeah. Like we are flexible could just very well go as far as we're cool dudes here. Maybe it's just we're cool dudes and we're flexible, but then he lets you know that they are scared dudes. Scared dudes there right now.
Yeah. These people are being assaulted by people who want pizza and who can't even get it delivered. And then it says, delivering for the best and most fun pizza shop around. Felt like that should have been at the beginning. Drive around. Like now I feel like he's backpedaling, even though it's still the same.
Too harsh. Too sharp.
Drive around in your car or our company car. Wow, this is very flexible. Like you would have got like a 15-passenger van. Just full of pizza. Making $18 to $20 per hour. So they're already giving you more money than they gave you up top. Listening to music in a laid back, stress-free environment. Now I will say that is the one thing that I've always thought would be nice. I've never been a pizza driver, but what would be nice about a pizza driver is you get to listen to your own music. And for the most part, you're not really bothered by people. You're going to get phone calls from dispatch, so to speak, that are mad about how long it's taking. But in the end, you can just turn up the journey, and that's just the way it goes.
It would be weird if you told me I couldn't listen to music in my car while I was at work, though.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, what I'm saying is this is the universal pitch. We all know this without you like saying you can listen to music in your car.
Yeah. He's just like, I don't care what you listen to music, heroin, whatever you do in your car is fine. Please just deliver these pizzas.
Please reach out. And then the post pretty much is over with, let's talk and see what you are thinking. Very business. That to me is like a thing that you would say about like that is a thing you leave at the end of a sales email. Let's talk and see what you are thinking. Like the most like generic, open-ended, let's see if this person will fucking say something closer. But in this case, what I'm thinking is I might deliver pizza. That's it. Oh, it does say, and again, we have not hit the $1,000 payload yet. It says $18 hour, cash tips, and delivery fee paid daily. And then employment types is employee's choice. Nary a mention of our 1,000 sign-on bonus.
Yeah. That's got to be the $1,000 sign-on bonus. It's got to be, you got to agree to that 50-hour schedule. There's no way you don't like. It's got to be like, and you got to work 200 hours before I give you that extra $1,000. It'll be on like your second
right.
shift,
in your car, not our car.
Yeah. There's got to be a lot of stuff in there, but I mean, but considering how just terrorized this man seems, you might be able to finagle that $1,000 in for that 10-hour week. That first thing.
I mean, what blows my mind is how is it that you have $1,000? I mean, maybe again, it could just be, yes, of course you're going to dangle it. It's going to be after 90 days or whatever. But how is it that you have $1,000 and nobody works there? Right? Like, how are you getting income if you're not delivering pizzas, which it seems to be you are very much not doing.
Yeah. It's like a pizza delivery shop owned by the most hated man in all of Cleveland.
Well, it's weird. Like, they've identified their address, which now has me like, I'm going to Google this later. But
we can Google right now.
It's weird when you have so much confidence towards your pizza shop, but you're unwilling to identify the name of your pizza shop.
That's another very important point. We are Googling the address now, and so far we're not really getting any. Oh, it says Jets Pizza, I think.
Jets Pizza.
Jets Pizza. Are you familiar at all?
No, I think Jets is kind of a chain.
It looks very chain-like.
Chain.
It's one of those chains where it's, the reason it's not bigger is because it's not good. You know what I mean? Like it's a chain for sure. Like I went to this place in my neighborhood, this hot chicken place opened up. It was called what was it called? Like, it's not Mother Cluckers, but it was something real similar, It was Hot Chicos. And I was like,
terrible.
Yeah. And I'm going to move soon. And I was just like, you know what? I just want to find out what the fuck's going on in there. And I got it. And I was like, oh, this is bad fast food. Like, it isn't even good fast food. So, this is, I didn't know it was a chain, but like after I got it, I was like, oh, this is for sure a chain. So I feel like that's what a Jets is. It's just like,
LA's been taken over by hot chicken places too. I don't know if you've been around.
It's fucking dumb.
There's so many hot chicken places now,
and no one gives a shit, dude. I can get diarrhea anytime I want.
You think you're taking out Taco Bell, king of diarrhea?
I don't think so, buddy.
You come for the king, you better not miss. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So I'm on your side here. I don't think Jets is much of anything. Although there is a nice repeating video on their website that looks just like a Little Caesars commercial. I do love that. Honestly, I do. I am a sucker for the pizza that has
pizza
no edges.
Looks good.
I mean, it looks like
it looks good. I don't think it is, nor do I think that that's their pizza, but I do think that pizza looks good.
Yeah. So it's still strange, given how quickly and easily we were to discover who they are, that they didn't say Jets Pizza is hiring.
Yeah, and I would assume if it is kind of chainy, this is just one franchise owner of this, and just kind of going rogue in the sense, I think he's just saying anything to get employees.
Anybody in the door. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like offering vaccinations, like where he doesn't have access to it all.
I have a jet. We have a jet. We could fly on the jet if you want. Just work there for 6 days.
Do you want to go to Dubai? We can go to Dubai.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I was in a certain place, I might still consider this though, because it is 18 an hour. Plus, we know you got tips coming. So whether it's $1,000 sign-on bonus or not, if I'm in a position to do this, like this doesn't sound like the worst thing. I do think this is the worst situation. Like I think it's a bad place to work, right? But
I'm fascinated enough to just like talk and see what we're thinking.
Yeah, see, what are we thinking here?
Open the door. Like I don't have to take this job, but I'd like to talk to this person.
Yeah. Do you think he'll listen to me pitch sketches to him if it's just about what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking, Nick? I don't know.
Hey, you have a pizza place. I have a sketch that is perfect. You happen to like, let's do this.
I've just been thinking about how weird it is that we chew gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess this is sort of a maybe and a best wishes. This is not a fuck this place.
I'm also fascinated just because Craigslist posts, I always am not 100% sure if English is the first language of the post.
Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why I kind of want to talk to find out about.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't maybe he doesn't realize he's saying $1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
$1,000. What?
$1,000.
I was trying to say I was keeping it 100. I thought that's what people say.
Yeah, no, you're right. that could be a reason. I mean, there's not the only thing that is another sign that that's a possibility. Honestly, is the $sign after the money, you know?
Yeah.
Because like there's a little bit of weird comma placement for Craigslist. I feel like that's pretty par for the course. In fact, the grammar is quite good. For a lot of Craigslist posts. So yeah, I do think that as a sometimes thing, and that could explain the $1,000 sign-on bonus. But maybe it's they're Canadian dollars, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're just gonna leave this. We'll just say, best of luck to Jets Pizza Delivery and Dine In, and we will hop on to post number 2, which who knows? It's going to be a need a sad clown for brother's birthday.
And again, what can you tell me about Parma, Ohio?
It's in Parma.
Oh my God, that is the saddest suburb of
really
Cleveland, and it's uniquely sad.
Uniquely sad. So, do you think that's why he's in look of a sad clown there? Like you go to the neighborhood where the sad lives?
Perhaps, or there's a certain degree of self-sadness and self-loathing that probably exists.
Okay.
If him and his brother grew up there, that this seems I don't know if this is like hilarious to them or just part of their personality.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, we should just read it, but I immediately think like maybe his brother's afraid of clowns.
Okay.
Go with it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
especially for
like
a brother.
Prank.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you fucking hate your brother, you know? It doesn't matter if it's his birthday or not.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask if Parma's sad because it's sort of the like sterilized suburbia whatever, or if it's sad because like we're never getting out of here sad.
Yeah, we're never getting out of it.
Yeah, got it.
And like the imagery you get of Cleveland of like industry has gone away, and it just looks like nothing has ever been updated. People have left, and it's just stuff has left, and nothing will come back in here. Just a lot of emptiness too.
Yeah. I love that. Just a lot of emptiness. Okay. So the post begins, there's no pictures, and it starts with a hey, which normally I say that's a red flag. In this case, I think let's get to chatting. I appreciate
it. Might just be like, hey, like it might be
it could be quiet. I didn't see you there. It's like hey. Yeah. It could be very downtrodden. And then the text begins. It says, I'm looking for someone to dress up as a sad clown for my brother's 24th birthday party. Well, we appreciate the fact that you're reiterating what we know to be the truth. Looking for a hobo style clown outfit. Love it. So far. Love this. Party will be at a bar. You don't have to entertain us if you don't want to. Don't even have to talk to us. Show up and sit on the perimeter of the group. Bad jokes are welcomed, but not necessary. I'm looking more for sad, not angry. Crying is great.
Jesus.
I can't pay you, but I will cover your cost in alcohol for the night. That's actually a decent offer, I'd say. Party starts at 8 p.m. goes till 10 or 11. I got a feeling it goes longer than that, but yeah. Send a picture of yourself in sad clown attire and give me a few good reasons why I should hire you for the event. A few? Anyway, we'll double back. I cannot provide a ride to or from the event, and I cannot offer money. Again, this is for someone who can play the role of a sad hobo-style clown and wants to drink cheap domestic beer on the house for a few hours. And then there's a line that says, no real clown experience necessary. When? And it says Wednesday, June 2nd, which this is clearly past. Time 8 to 11-ish. And then at this West Side Palmer Bar. And then, of course, they reiterate, no pay. And that is the post.
This is one of my favorite posts we've ever done.
I think maybe.
It's fucking weird, man. There's like, it feels like an onion. I'm so interested in this, and I just I don't immediately I want to go that I would do this.
Absolutely.
But I have a lot of stipulations, because I'll tell you what, I am not interested in being something in the periphery that's kind of attention grabbing of a bunch of drunk 24-year-old men.
Yeah, sure.
So what I'm doing, if I'm doing this, I'm getting all my friends. We're all dressing as clowns.
Okay.
16 clowns in this bar. Now everybody's scared. It's not just the brother. Everybody at the party's a little afraid. Now I'm having fun. I'll be sad. I'll pretend to be sad.
If 16 clowns show up to a bar, somebody has a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be the clowns. It could be the other people at the bar.
Yeah.
But there's a knife somewhere, and it's hidden on them, I would hope.
Yeah.
And it's real goofy sized. I'm in the same boat in the sense that, like, as a former 24-year-old, I would absolutely make this Craigslist post. Although I'd probably just ask a friend to do it, or like an acquaintance, but still, like, this is the kind of thing I would genuinely want to get into. Just in general, I just love a theme party. I love strange things. And if depending on your situation, you show up and this person's going to buy your, it's going to be PBR or whatever. But again, if you're in the same demographic, like, that's what you're drinking anyway. So you could go for it.
I am though. If I'm, again, real quick, if I am that clown, I am getting some like Johnny Walker Blue Label or something. I'm sneaking one kind of expensive drink in there.
Okay.
Just because fuck them a little bit.
Okay. All right. Fine.
What, Chase, would you do Nick's idea and bring friends, or you do this by yourself?
I'd consider doing it by myself. I didn't think about the smart idea of having a friend. I would have a phone call with this person. I don't know if I would actually do this, but I feel like I've come pretty close to this before, lots of, and usually it was with people I knew, but, when I was in college, like, we had like this whole list of theme parties that we wanted to execute. Some of them were just like, oh, it's a circus thing, or I went to one that was called, and this is not a particularly PC these days, and I don't necessarily support the title anymore, but it was called CEOs and Office Hoes. And we brought memos.
Son of a bitch, Chase.
We were known. In fact, actually, my friends were known for taking themes too seriously at parties, and so people stopped inviting us to theme parties. And so, we had this one party that we always wanted to execute that was just called the Great Depression. And it would just be a keg that everybody had to stand in line for, and you only got a little bit of beer. So everybody just spent the whole party in line. But that never came to be. Union Soldier was another one we wanted to have. Just all Union soldiers. So, and just softs. You just wanted to see if someone would show up as the Confederate. And then anyway, so anyway, this sounds like a pretty good time. I kind of trust the person who has, like, as soon as they said a hobo style clown outfit, like, I literally am envisioning my friend Rob being like, I wish for my birthday a hobo clown would show up and cry. And I thought, I would want to provide that to my friend Rob. So, So yeah, again, I don't think these people are dangerous. Although I do agree with you, Nick. There is a major safety factor here for a bunch of 24-year-olds who think that you are there for them for any reason at all. Is probably a really bad window to open.
Yeah. Especially as the night goes in closer to that 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
And my concern here is like, if we did Nick's idea,
all three of us are the clowns, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know that this guy is self-aware enough that like we've taken over his idea. Messed with it. That I feel like we would start to get into a fight over the cheap domestic beer he's supposed to be paying for. I mean,
okay. So what I'm gathering from this guy is that he is fine with pawns. That's what he wants. There's a bigger game here. We don't know what it is,
right?
But like it's like you're going to be a pawn for him, right? That's what he's doing. Whatever it is, there might be another post up that's like, I'm looking for someone dressed up as a French maid outfit. For
Nick,
a party.
I actually have some inside information here. I don't know if you saw this, but I saw another post where he was asking for a magician.
Are you serious?
I'm dead fucking serious. I'll pull it up. We have to.
Fucking shit. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, dude. Smoke, you're on a good episode. Let me tell you. Crack something open here. Holy crap.
No, I'll have to go. Just give me a second. We need to go to Cleveland.
We did a deep dive on like why Winnipeg and Canada is so horny.
It's very horny Craigslist.
Very horny Craigslist. But we might have to do a deep dive on why Cleveland is so fucking weird. Why Parma is so weird. What's going on?
Boom. Need a terrible magician for brother's birthday party. Hey,
holy fuck!
We're gonna blaze through this. We are uncovering a conspiracy. I just saw that and I thought, Nick must have seen that and he picked the sad clown one, but I didn't even know you didn't see it. And I said, hey, I'm looking for a really bad magician for my brother's 24th birthday party. The party's at a bar, so no live animals. And nothing extravagant. Why magicians? Oh, I see the bunny. Okay. When I say terrible, I mean you should be really bad at magic. Drop cards. This actually sounds harder than sad clown. Can't pull off the tricks. Just generally making a fool of yourself. That said, play it off like you're actually trying. Come prepared with a 30-minute routine and try to be dressed in the way a magician might. Be comfortable in front of an audience or be awkward. Might be better that way. We are either going to laugh at you or ignore you. Be comfortable with that too. You're welcome to hang out with us after your performance, but that isn't required. I cannot provide rides to or from location. Send me an email with a picture, blah, blah, blah. We can consent. And then this one says we can discuss compensation options via email. So this person is not offering
not the booze, but money. Yeah,
they start at 9. Sad clown starts 8 to 11. So I agree, Nick, that there's a scheme going on here.
Anyways, well, that's amazing. But I was just saying, just because like that's what I was gathering from that one post, that there's like a bigger game being played, it would be fun to then take the game out of their hands and bring a bunch of clowns.
Yeah, and they can't stop you. You can't stop people in a public, just like a bar.
So like that's kind of why I would be super down for this. But as long as I had,
I think you could bring your clown friends. I don't think that would be a problem. But I do agree, Sumukh, that he might be real mad.
But then it's hilarious because the magician arrives at 9, and there's a whole battle between the clowns and this party over cheap domestic beer.
Yeah, or you show up as all these clowns. The magician shows up, and the party ignores them. And you, as your audience of clown, fucking love everything this magician does. You just laugh at. You're crying until he shows up, and then you laugh at everything the magician does. That sounds like a decent night, to be honest.
Yeah. It sounds
like a good time.
And also, there's no clarity that they've rented out the bar. So
no.
Also, like just bar patrons probably there. Like, what is going?
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is not, this ain't Portland. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like, where like SantaCon happens at one bar and like it's like, oh, how neat this town is that we have Santas everywhere. Like this is Cleveland. You could get murdered for just being a clown in a bar, but I think it'd still be worth it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in.
Sumukh?
Well, I'm in with other people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm.
And you don't have to tell this person about other people at all.
No.
You're not getting paid.
Yeah.
And even if he stops buying you drinks, who gives a shit? You've turned the tides, and now you're just adding to someone's situation. I'd do this for free. I mean, it'd be better if someone buys me drinks, but especially with the friends showing up as clowns, we just know that somebody else has a thing, and we're showing up to sort of interrupt / be available for it. Like, I think it'll be fine.
Then this guy gets on Craigslist. He sees a post that says "Need a sad clown for a sad clown's backup for a brother's birthday party."
I need
Just the well just
25
keeps going.
sad clowns to join me. I
Tonight.
can't give you any compensation other than the satisfaction of ruining a person's birthday. Actually, ruining a brother's execution of his brother's birthday. All right. Well, wow, we have not hit a 0 fuck this place in quite some time. 2 for 2. So Cleveland treating us well. But
yeah.
otherwise,
the
everywhere
uniqueness and opportunity that Cleveland provides.
that is the truth.
Yeah.
So
a lot of times Cleveland, when we're there for Craigslist, like all I ever find is like advertisements for people looking to put you on a TV show because you date an inmate, or like mental fog studies, or like general
DoorDash.
drive around and pick up dog shit off people's lawn jobs. Like that's straight up Cleveland jobs. This time though, some bangers, some real good stuff out there.
So, a salute to Cleveland.
Salute to Cleveland.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470 bad jobs. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
You want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Okay, Sumukh, what is the first job you've ever had?
First job I ever had was working at Subway.
Oh, eat fresh.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Cleveland?
Yeah. So in the suburb I grew up in. So basically, it's funny. I got the job because the driving instructor I had when I was learning driving, his family owned that Subway and they were for people.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, yeah, I kind of like need a summer job. So I work there.
So wait. So you guys just driving together, and then he's like, be good at sandwiches.
No, yeah, like
You'd be good at putting on way too much mayonnaise. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, he clearly was extremely relaxed about his driving instructing because at one point we ended the driving instruction at this Subway.
Hell yeah, dude.
Or something. So yeah, I just like ended up walking into the Subway. Barry was very much like he was just eating Subway a lot. Obviously, his family now owned a Subway.
No, Subway is for sure like a high school teacher or instructor's main food. Like, and I will say also, I had very casual. I feel like driver's ed, man. If you're uptight, there's one, like we had like 4 or something driver's ed teachers. One was the uptight one, and then everybody else didn't give a fuck. I mean, I know one of them fell asleep while some kid was driving, and they ended up in like Tennessee, and he literally just woke up and was like, all right. And he just said, take an exit, and he just like drove him back. And that was, and then, like we would stop and get donuts all the fucking time. Like we'd go and we like, we wouldn't get anything, but like he would get coffee or something. Yeah. So yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
And then he like takes you to that Subway, and like you guys get out, and he's like, see, cash register is a lot like a steering wheel. It's all a plot to get you to work at Subway.
Yeah.
You got the 10 and the 2 right on the pickles and the wheat bread.
So he was just. So how did he introduce it to you though? Just like it was just like, oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it was just very like relaxed enough that he took me to the Subway, and then clearly also relaxed enough that he brought up that like we need people, and then I kind of was like, well, yeah, like I need a summer job if you guys are cool with that. That's how it kind of started. And I just there for that one summer, and it wasn't awesome by any means. Like his mom is who owned it, and she was very much like just kind of an authoritarian of sorts, which is weird when you're working at like Subway, when you're a teacher and you're like, I don't want to have someone up my ass over all these things, you know?
Yeah.
I don't care. It's just like a summer job. So it
Mhm.
was the best environment to be a sandwich artist in. And I was okay with it. But I also think even in the fast food realm, I didn't really enjoy it just because it's weird to have people like watch you make their food.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Really like picky about stuff.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't enjoy this. Like I like kind of like let me just do my job and like nobody's staring at me while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no,
So-
it's not a good set. Like I know why they do it, but it's not a good setup like Subway, Chipotle, whatever, where people can just sort of like, can you, you know, like they can really nitpick, like they can direct with their hands the way that you're supposed to apply something or move it off. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's rice, a little less rice.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be embarrassed having someone watch me make my food, like for me, let alone their food and how they like it, you know?
Yeah. And it's, you know, Subway is a place for, I mean, maybe it happens a little less, but I feel like Subway is such a specific nexus, like it's very much unlike, let's say, a Chipotle. Like Subway, some people who arrive at a Subway have lost a fight with themselves about where they're going to eat. You know, like they're like, and it doesn't mean that they lost it today, but they lost it a while ago. They're like, I want to eat at, you know, at I want to eat a burger, but I shouldn't eat a burger. So I'm sad now. And here I am at this fucking Subway.
Yeah. And I was working there during like peak Subway, you know, like
$5 footlong
being a big deal. And we'd get all these people in clearly like trying to lose weight or being very like health conscious.
Yeah.
That's why they'd be particularly picky. Like I just remember this woman being like very particular about her tomatoes and stuff. I'm like, this is so annoying. Like, we'll make a sandwich for you. Like, it matters. So and then subsequently with what Subway's become, it's just kind of weirder with both Jared and then I don't know if you guys read. There's like a
tuna thing
Insider article about. Well, yeah, and then also that yoga mat thing that was weird with the bread. But yeah, there was like a Business Insider article recently. The founder died. And then that was part of your training too. It's like you'd watch this video with the founder telling you all about Subway. But that guy was a lunatic, apparently. And then Subway just became so huge because he ran it like such a crazy person.
Like, what do you mean, like lunatic? Like he's dressed like the guy from Hellraiser? Like,
no. I mean, he probably should have been, but you know, your usual of like weird sexual harassment things. Really not treating staff well. And then you combine that with the Jared stuff, and it's like this is a pretty sick organization.
Yeah.
Kind of glad I did not become some sort of lifer.
Yeah. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was something way dark, way fucked up,
or like a Scientology thing or something. But it's just Subway.
It's just like turkey sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah, man. And Subway, man, it's just not good. It's not good. I've eaten it so much. You know, everybody who hasn't eaten so much Subway, they're just like, God damn it, I never want to eat another fucking Subway again.
Then you find out that they were like stealing insulin and putting it in like the 9-grain bread or whatever. What the fuck is going on with this company?
You thought it was fucked up just because it was sad, but it's fucked up because they're disturbed.
And like I'm a vegetarian, and now things have gotten better, but especially when I do the road, it was like Subway's your only option, and they're
absolutely.
And it was just like I worked here. I don't want to.
And it's like it's the only option, and it's also a garbage option. You know, like it's just like and the other thing is that Subway's vary so wildly between Subways. You know, like you go to some Subways in like Alabama or like in North Carolina or whatever, and it's like they just have 2 cheeses, white and yellow, you know? And then you go to other Subways, they got fucking spinach in there, you know, they got pepper jack cheese, you know, it's like,
that first Alabama one was just like, we got 2 cheeses, that one and that one.
Correct.
And that's how they identify them. That one and that one. That one.
And they're both American. Just one is
Yeah,
white American, one is yellow American.
Same cheese, just two different piles of it.
Actually, this one we just spilled tea on. That's why it's kind of yellow. It started as white. How long did you work there?
It was just one summer, and then I'm trying to think. I think that was the summer before senior year. So then I graduated from high school and just like didn't care and was going to go to college.
Left Subway behind.
Yeah. It's weird that they're like you left and then like literally they're exposed as this like horrendous monster of an organization.
Yeah.
Like that has not
I
happened.
didn't like there either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hasn't happened to Arby's, you know? Like it's it's just Subway. Every time someone finds out something about Subway, something new about Subway, it's always something bad.
It's
Right?
and like horrendously bad.
That's
and
what
it's
I mean.
Almost always that it's not food.
That it's not food or that they aren't treating people like humans.
Right.
They're like what is something that we could come up with that's comparably bad to what Jared was? Oh, what if we never even served food?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if you could possibly match like a well-hidden pedophile?
Yeah.
Well, what if the tuna wasn't ever tuna?
Yeah.
Ever. At all. Oh, what a place. Did you like make any pals there or was it pretty much just like lettuce and grind?
No, and even that, like I have no communication even with that family or my driving instructor.
Sure.
Leaving. Like I didn't feel motivated to even return to that Subway location in any way. Like it's not, I don't know. It was like, it's not as if I left. Like I still gave 2 weeks or whatever the summer, and I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to do school and then it. But it didn't feel like a great jovial departure either. So I'm like, I'm motivated to ever.
Yeah.
Again. It is funny how casual you are. Just like, I'm never going back to that place.
You know, I hate their fucking guts, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. No, like I did work with someone there that I went to high school with, but I wasn't particularly close with her to begin with. So it was fine. No, I didn't remain friends with anybody from that first job, at least.
Just out of curiosity, did you have to fill out an application or they just like let you in because it was just like, what's up? This is Sumukh.
No,
their driving pink slip thing or whatever.
You passed the driver's test?
Right.
You're in, buddy.
We know he can get to this job. He can drive. I think I still did whatever their paper application was, but then.
I just remember I applied to Subway one time and they made you do math on it and I just never turned it in.
I think I do remember that. Yeah. Just so you knew how to work a cash register.
Of course. It was like, do the quarter math or whatever. I was like, no, I'll get a job anywhere else. I still had to do math. Like I was a server that summer. But I was just like, I'm not going to do math on the application for Subway. Not worth it. It's a computer. You press the buttons. It's good.
Okay. All right. So that was your first job ever. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
So the worst job I ever had was another summer job where I delivered phone books.
Oof. Jesus Christ. That sounds so boring and so heavy at the same time.
It exactly was that. So
like
again,
even 3 phone books is pretty fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And I would guess you're delivering more than 3.
Yes. So again, it was another kind of like, it was a summer between college. So I'm back home, like in the house I grew up in with my parents. And I'm kind of like, so the previous summers, again, my track record of jobs is just fascinating. But after Subway, I then worked at a Mexican art store.
Okay.
Which again, like Mexican art in suburban Cleveland, of course, it like didn't last at all. But I enjoyed that job. The people who owned it were nice, but just didn't have the sense of like, hey, this probably will not work. Like, you're spending a ton of money on rent in a mall for something that like this is not going to work in the city.
Yeah, for sure. It was in a mall.
Yeah. So it was in like a very big mall. Like where I grew up, the suburb I'm in is just like known for its mall. So it had a spot in there. And it just, I knew the writing was on the wall like throughout when I was working there. It's like, I see the cash register. We are not making money.
I see the
in
customers not in the store.
Mhm.
And I see all the
Exactly.
people walking out in front because you're in a mall. A lot of people come to the mall,
Mhm.
and every mall has at least one of those stores where it's like there's nobody here, but like
Yeah.
for the
Mhm.
certain people, like in my mall, it was like I think it was called Whirlwinds, and it was like because Asheville's kind of hippie town, and like even in the mall they had like an incense store.
Yes. But for as weird as that job was, I'm still friends with some people from that job.
Right.
Mhm.
Another weird fact is if anybody listening to this is into pro wrestling, I worked with Dolph Ziggler.
Really?
Yeah, so he's a wrestler now, but at the time he was a wrestler at Kent State. And so yeah, he was back for the summer too and just like worked there
At
also.
this art store.
What's weird about Dolph Ziggler too is it's like you don't even have to just be a wrestling fan to know he's also like weirdly into stand-up comedy, and he used to like
Yes,
date
yeah.
Amy Schumer, right? It's like he's kind of
Yeah.
a guy that's weirdly around a lot of things.
Yeah, he's kind of smartly prepared for when his wrestling career is over with.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I saw
A
him do
lot of a lot of this generation has kind of been smart with that. So yeah, he
Uh-huh.
Amy Schumer, and then I think he went on tour with Sarah Tiana.
Really.
So he's dipped himself into weird realms of like stand up.
Including Mexican art stores. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mexican
yeah.
as well.
So yeah, he and I have tweeted back and forth about those memories, which is
Mhm.
cool. Like I'm glad he's
Mhm.
doing very
Mhm.
well. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it was a good job, but it was also like weird of just knowing like this is gonna fail. Like it feels bad when you're working for a family who has this business and you're just like this is not gonna work, but
Mhm.
I'll keep doing my best.
And it's clearly their dream,
Mhm.
Yeah,
they saved up
I
so
just-
much.
Yeah. So yeah, so I was done with that, and then the next summer rolled around, and I'm like, I don't, it would be nice to find another job, but it was just tough to do so. And it was a combination of like, yes, money, but also just sheer boredom that I'm like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want to do something. So very comparable to how Craigslist was, like this was 2004. So I looked in the classifieds of the Cleveland Plain Dealer and
Mhm.
had a post about delivering phone books. So I'm like,
Mhm.
what the hell? Why not? Like it is not by any means some permanent job, but it'll get some money. I'll go check this out.
Mhm.
So it involves going to the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds. And that was where just the introductory training meeting was.
Mhm. Where phone books are born.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
They dig them out of the
And-
ground there.
Mhm.
It was very much a precursor to like stand-up comedy in the sense of like, here is the weirdest mix of individuals wanting
Carnies.
because yeah,
Carnies. Yeah.
exactly. There's just no standards, right? They're not going to drug test anybody. Everybody's like an independent contractor. You got people who clearly it's like you've done time. You all might be on drugs right now. You've been through some stuff. Who the hell knows? Very weird mix of people, obviously. And then, they tell you rules on delivering phone books. Like no one was following this. I shouldn't have been following it anyway. But
What do you remember any of these rules on delivering phone? Like, was it like intense? What are the rules on delivering phone books?
Yeah.
so now looking back on it, nothing about this is obviously eco-friendly. Like first, like this massive paper of phone books, but then they also they gave you tons of plastic bags because they wanted you to then put the phone books into the plastic bags, and then that is how it would be delivered to the front door of someone. Oh,
Just delivering
was
straight
really
up literal trash onto someone's doorstep.
exactly. Yeah. But then they'd also say, like, they clearly wanted no liability with you, right? So they're like, oh, if there are dogs or something, just leave it at the end of the driveway. It's like, well, why even go to the front door? Just leave it wherever. And like subsequently, after being in the game, I'd see like phone books anywhere on people's like driveways and lawns. Because I realized, anybody doing this job doesn't actually care about what the hell rules are. And even the people, whoever are responsible for hiring, don't care either. There were just, they tell you standards, but there were really no standards to this. so yeah, you have this introductory meeting, and then they have the whole list of routes that you could take. And the route was how you got paid. You were basically paid by like the number of phone books you delivered.
Uh-huh.
So for my first and only route, because it was that bad, I just picked like the route that was in the neighborhood where the house I live in was.
Yeah.
So that way, you know, easiest amount, no gas mileage really all that much. But so yeah, that paid like $150, but it was a ton of phone books. Like I was covering a lot of different neighborhoods. Also have to deliver to commercial places. So that was always a crazy memory too, because there's like a Walmart in that route, like right near where I live. So yeah, I had to like load up a shopping cart of phone books and just bring it into Walmart, and then just go to the Walmart, you know, like where everybody goes to return stuff, and just be like, here are your phone books. I'm not going to deliver them to wherever they need to go, but you need 80 phone books according to what's on this sheet that was given to me by the phone or whoever's doing this. So it was super weird. There's probably a good system that you could do to it to make decent hourly money, but there's not when you're like one person trying to deliver phone books. And yeah, you're right. The weight of it is nuts. At the time, my first car was like a 96 Pontiac Bonneville. So it's a pretty solid car. It could handle a lot, but I could just watch like the suspension and weight of the car like dip down. Like as these guys were loading up the phone books, I'm just immediately regretting even doing this.
Of course.
Stupid. So yeah, it was terrible. It's lonely. Like it's not fun. I don't know why I did it other than like, yeah, I was bored and I wanted to make money, but I almost immediately like regretted it. Like the money was just worth it. I mean, it ended up factoring in between like $7 to $8 an hour when I did the math at the end of it all of delivering them. But yeah, I guess I hated it, but I guess I learned something from all of it, which is that I will never do that again. It doesn't exist anymore as a job. I'm pretty sure. Like it was a weird time because it was 2004. And then I'm like, yeah, Google isn't around yet, but we have search engines. Like people use Metacrawler or Alta Vista or whatever to find phone numbers. Why is this still? It was this weird time of like, some people are still not embracing the internet, but they should be. That didn't exist anymore, and not surprising. Like,
So again, it's been a while since I've considered phone books. But what was the deal? Did these people even opt in, or was it just like, here's? I mean, because if I recall, you know, we would get phone books too, and I don't think we ever asked for them. I mean, and I wasn't, you know, writing the checks at that time, but I feel like sometimes we would even get 2 phone books. You know, it'd be like, oh shit,
a yellow and a white pages. I always felt like there would be, and like, do you think those people killed themselves that like ran that, like just like when they knew the internet was gonna win this war, like they just kind of like got dressed in.
They were in a high rise in like Detroit or something doing cocaine or
like also maybe a little party, but I just think dressed very nicely, and then they just sit like at the bottom of a pile of phone books and like pull a thing, and like all the phone books come crashing down.
Yeah, they get buried. And then they set them on fire.
That's it. Yeah. It's like insulated walls, so only this room catches fire. You know.
I've got to believe that. Like you have to be planning ahead to know your industry is fading. But so people that I imagine did not plan ahead at all with it.
Yeah. They thought that the phone book party would never end.
I mean, Blockbuster never planned ahead, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Just got fucking screwed. Did you, I mean, how long was this that you did the deliveries?
So again, it was one route that probably still took me like a week to accomplish. So again, you arrive and you're an independent contractor, and it kind of felt again like comedy, where it's just like, here, fill out this 1099, and then that's it. We never want to really deal with you again.
Yeah, we don't really want you here, but thanks for coming.
Right. So that was pretty much it. So then it was like, okay, you've taken this route. Here's how much we will pay you when you finish that route. And I mean, like, people could have easily like lied, but I don't know how you lie and take all these phones unless you like chuck them into garbage.
It actually is better to deliver them.
Yeah.
And that might have been the best kind of scheme if you had the ability to just toss these things and then come back for a paycheck. And again, in retrospect, it's like, who's sitting around waiting for their phone book? And if somebody wants to complain, then they'll just give them a phone book one way or the other. It was a very strange, it was just a really strange job to actually, now I'm like, why did I do that? Appropriately, you know what I mean? Like, if I wanted to make money, like, don't, like, just lie, don't, which I'm sure most of my colleagues were doing something weird. Either they were delivering them properly, they were trashing them, or whatever, because that's the only way you could have actually made like decent living wage money from it.
Or like, like it's like they have a swamp that they bury them all in, like a shallow grave of phone books, like a mass shallow grave of phone books. There's like an alligator just swimming. And there's like 35 phone books.
Or they have this one buddy who's just got a killer bonfire in his backyard all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, Carl, 10 more for you.
Phone books, man. Lonely life.
And the other thing is crazy, as you said, Sumukh, is like, nobody needs this because they also have last year and the year before and the year before that. Like, how much has a phone book changed in that time?
Right. There's not a lot of updating. I had to deliver both the white and yellow pages, and then you deliver them to everywhere. So I was definitely going into like I wasn't even of age, but I'm going into like these weird bars that are kind of around where I live. You know, to the positive of it, like when you arrive, if you have to go into an establishment, no one's like mad they got a phone book, but they're also not overjoyed either. They're just you have a purpose, so thank you for the phone books. But it was not. I don't know what I was expecting. Like, again, I think I just was like, I should get a job. But I'm like, wow, this is really bad, and I don't know why this job exists.
It's funny to me that the way you're phrasing that. You're not saying I'm at work going, I need a better job. You're at work saying, I need a job. Like this doesn't even register in your mind as a job. That's this thing that you're doing for money. It's oh man, I don't want to say there's a romance to it, but the way you tell the story,
I'd say the romance is in the like sort of irrefutable and ultimate plainness of it all.
Sure.
You know, that it's just so like, it really sounds like a poem.
Like the American Beauty, like the bag in the wind.
I was just saying, like, it sounds like a Charles Bukowski poem. You know, like I delivered phone books for a year after I lost it all at the racetrack.
Or I would say like an Albert Camus, like just like the blinding sun in my eyes. It gave me a headache as I dropped off the white pages.
I'm sorry I've made like fuck this place more like the sad clown post.
No.
It's kind of a blend of
Thanks.
It's a blend of the sad clown and a Mexican art store, I'd say, at this point.
Yes. I still like, even with the Mexican art store, it was weird. Like, it's a weird job, but I can't say fuck this place to it. I did enjoy it. The people were nice. I liked my coworkers. I liked the job. It was just more like this bit. You're just sitting there knowing the business is not going to last.
Absolutely.
It's more like this place is fucked.
Right.
Exactly.
So but then to roll into something like the phone book thing, it was like, you didn't really have a boss, so there's nobody to be like pissed at, and people are just trying to do their job. Like, here, just take the fucking phone books, whether the people like doing the training or the warehouse guys just loading up your phone books. Everybody was just part of this weird system of just like, we just gotta like get this done. So I can't really get mad at them.
We don't know why we have to get this done, but
Like,
we do have to do it.
So we were all part of a weird like, let's get this done. So yeah, it was very bizarre.
So walk me through a day to day. So you start at early, late, does it matter? Like,
no one cares. So like, again, like it's a flexibility of like, just get the job done. We don't care how long it takes, how you do it. When you tell us you're done, you will get this paycheck.
Yeah.
It's very much like being a hitman in that way.
Yeah. Except I hope as a hitman you get a deposit of sorts, which I.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true. That's
some
true.
upfront cash for just expenses, gas, taking pictures, buying rope and stuff.
Yeah. It is kind of funny though to think that you're like you talk to a lady and she's like, I once paid a man to kill my husband, and this is what I told him. You're like, oh, same deal. I used to deliver phone books. They say the same thing to me.
Yeah. So first, the thing was to like unload these books out of my trunk, and then all power to my parents. Thank you to them, but like their garage was then filled with like telephone books.
It's almost like you were. This is how it works. If you're like in Girl Scout cookies, if or if you're doing one of those multi-level marketing schemes for makeup, it's like you have to buy like $1,000 fucking dollars worth of stuff, but you didn't. It was free or whatever. But yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
like you're a Mary Kay salesman of phone books. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. So then. Again, like now the garage is functioning as almost my own little warehouse of you've given me all these phone books and you've given me all these plastic bags. Put a white pages and a yellow pages into these plastic bags. Then I've got to load them back into my trunk. And then like I've got to figure out like, each little address had how many of these you deliver. So like I said, easy when it's a residential neighborhood, but then when you're going to commercial businesses like Walmart or whatever, the furniture store or something, maybe they need more of it. So I had to, there probably was a great strategy to this to maximize it. I just did not care and was like, I'm never doing this again after this one route. But, so yeah, when it came to residences, I do the plastic bag thing and had that all set up. But then when I knew I was going to Walmart, it's like, I'm not going to put these in plastic bags.
Yeah. Fuck that.
So yeah, I then have to load it up into my car, but then load it up into like a shopping cart and take it into the place. So yeah, it was a weird couple weeks of like, yeah, the garage was a warehouse of phone books that I then did myself to like together, load up, and then and then you're just walking around. It's like the worst trick-or-treating ever. It's backwards trick-or-treating. Walking around with these plastic bags of phone books and dropping them off.
Did you encounter, I mean, you said going into businesses, it was fine. Did you encounter homeowners at all?
No, very limited, because again, you don't have to ring the doorbell or acknowledge that. I don't remember anything significantly bad, and usually, like they just didn't care you're getting your phone books. From like aggressive dog standpoint, that also wasn't too bad. I think there might have been a time I was just like take it and leave, which is again, situation they were talking about is basically we want no liability. Like we don't want to get sued if you get bit by a dog or whatever, So
if something happens to you, we don't even fucking know you. Very hitman again.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Yeah, you barely knew anyone there. They didn't want to know you, and they just wanted you to just check mark this thing off for them. So I don't know. It was a lot of energy for something completely unfulfilling in a trade where you're just going like, this shouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
If you're forward thinking enough to realize like, I don't even look at these things anymore. Why am I delivering them? It is still like, okay, I guess there's like old people around that this is how they find out information,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really bizarre. It was the summer too, so I'm like sweating it up while I'm carrying these things around. Not a lot. Yeah, it prepared me for the same sadness that can come with stand-up, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like an old Patsy Cline song. The way you're just like, I go walking after midnight, man, just delivering phone books. Just there's something about it though that I'm into this.
The
Like,
banality of it is very specific. You know, it's just, I don't know of any other job. Like,
and like I said, I'm sure there were people there that like they made that their job in a way for that period of time, and they had a system that probably worked well for them. Yeah, there just is no. Almost immediately, I'm like, there is no upside to this. I'm already kind of miserable. So let's just like knock this out, get the paycheck, and I just never want to interact with this.
So you said like it took a week or whatever. What did you get paid for that route? Like, did you get a flat rate? You said it was like $150 a day or something, or like
not a day. The whole route was 100.
Oh shit!
So they were paying you by the book you delivered, which again was like cents. It was, it was a good, again, precursor to Spotify payments, probably as a that was the equivalent, like phone book wise, was like, all right, you're getting like a penny for each book or something stupid like that. But again, it was just very much about the volume that you could deliver. It had nothing to do with like an hourly rate, no care for you as like a being. But it kind of makes sense with what the structure of what they're asking you to do is, which is just deliver these phone books. We don't
deliver this worthless thing as a worthless person for this worthless industry.
You're like, how much does that cost in phone books? Like everything, everything. You're like, it's about equivalent to Spotify play. It's probably about 9 phone books a play. Is what I say.
It's like using ruples. They're like 1,000 phone books. Like it sounds like, honestly, if you had to have that job again, you could make it like a podcast where people try and fall asleep to it. You're like, here I am, it's me delivering phone books just on a hot afternoon in Cleveland. 85 degrees, a little bit humid. I've got 6,000 phone books to deliver. Let's go. I would listen to that.
You're like, plop, and it's like, that's one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
999 more phone books to go.
Yeah, taking a left onto Oak Street now. It's like a night radio.
Yeah. I hear that. Oh man, I'm into it. I feel like
it sounds awful. I never fucking touch it, but yeah.
No, but I'm into this story, man.
Yeah, and it's different kind of than what Subway was or the Mexican art store was, in the sense of like, I'd see people I knew, right, from like school or who might come into Subway or who are just in the mall. So they're like, oh, hey, like, let me come in. What's this weird store or whatever, But at least with delivering phone books, as self-loathing of an experience as that was, at least I never encountered anyone I knew.
Sure.
Or it's nice, because that would have just, right.
You kind of exist in this void.
Yeah.
The void of like just curbs and roads and people watering their lawns and shopping malls that have too much sun in them.
Yeah, there's just people that just know you've been there, but they don't know when.
Correct.
You're like a phone book cowboy. Just moving on to the next town,
Yeah. I'm just here for one night,
just
phone
tipping
book.
your hat real low when the sun gets in it. It gets real hot.
Just a
that is the most romanticized way you could try to pull off phone book delivery.
Yeah. They said, listen here. Now, if they had a theme, actually, I feel like that would be a lot more fun if they made you wear a cowboy hat or something, or like one of those like Woody style vests with like that really clear, weird rope on the side.
Yeah, or there's someone specific you're looking for, and you're looking for them one house at a time, and when they're not there, you leave a phone book so that they,
you're a desperado.
Dude, this
hunting
is badass.
On a manhunt.
Badass.
This is your calling card. And then when he finds him, you shoot him through the phone book. So it's like a silencer or whatever. Don't need this phone book. I'm not shooting anybody today.
Yeah, I'm surprised we've gone this far without even mentioning. My first thought when he said that, I was like, oh, there's gonna be so many strong guys just trying to prove their strength by tearing a phone book. never encountered it. Wow.
Yeah, some guy opens the door like, I'm not gonna need this.
Yeah. He's like old timey buff wearing that Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Like,
You're wearing a onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds awful, Sumukh, but there is this it's just rife with imagery. This purgatory you were in.
Yeah, I unfortunately can't spin any good imagery out of it. There was nothing really good to it. You got really great job making me feel better about it. Like, I could. I was a cowboy out there doing a good.
Dude, but it's like you're out there. It is like purgatory. You're out there. You were saying just like fucking criminals, like people with no past.
Yeah.
And you're just out there.
The non-existent entities. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just like, no, I don't have any memories before or after I was here. It's just like, dude, purgatory. You were dead and you were in purgatory. He was delivering phone books, and now you're on the show talking about it.
And it felt like it too. It was exactly what you'd expect, like this extremely static kind of room. Like it's circle tables with people sitting around. It had all the vibe of everything, like kind of like it might as well have been like an AA meeting or
everything has given up, including the walls and lighting.
Yeah, no one can tell if the coffee's hot or not. We've all been here too long.
Yeah. So from the get-go, you can kind of feel that static misery of it's purgatory. Like, what is next? Why am I here?
Yeah.
What's with these people? I'll never interact with these people.
The
only situation I would go about interacting with them.
Yeah.
Put myself into it too, which is weird. But
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've even come close to this level of just like low stimulus.
But the other thing too is like, even if I was angry about it and had real issues with it, really was like, fuck this place, there's no one to go to tell, like, fuck this place. No, like, yes, there's somebody running that training, but then, like, I'm sure they were just as, like, miserable and ready to get out of it, too. So you had nothing really to, like, you just came back for your paycheck. It felt like Dust Bowl-ish or something.
Like, that guy just got his orders from, like, a black, like, rotary phone. Like they just you didn't know who's on the other side of it.
Didn't even know if it was a person, but they spoke.
Yeah, they told him in like a deep gravelly voice.
It's like he picked up the phone, and like you can't even tell if this person couldn't tell if it was coming through receiver or if they just, when they picked up the phone, they suddenly heard it in their mind.
Yeah, and you could see like the red veins in his eyes. See, like there was crazy information being given to him.
Yeah.
And then he just like slams the phone shut and he's like, okay, so you're out today. Like, dude, this is fucked up.
I do like the idea of you being mad and just like crying into phone books or like, just screaming straight into the binding of a phone book.
Dude, I just like the idea of you laying in your bed, just like laying down like this, just like, and it's like you're to this day thinking about it, just trying to put together what
it
that
honestly does sort of feel like a Napoleon Dynamite, like the beginning of some kind of indie flick where it's just like, oh yeah, this person is the most worthless thing of all time, and he's contemplating on what the fuck's gonna happen with the rest of his life. But he has so much time to do that because all he does is deliver phone books.
And you said that you had nowhere to go. You're here now. Like we are here for this.
Thanks.
It took many a year, but we're into it.
And I don't know that it's ever truly been depicted in like what you said, like Napoleon Dynamite or any indie film. The phone book delivery person has certainly been overlooked.
I've never even thought of this till you brought it up.
No, I've never. I got phone books, as a kid.
Right.
Never thought about how they got there. Never once.
Yeah. Again, I probably as a. Oh, good. No, go ahead.
No, it's like I don't even think the phone company was like operating this right. Like they just hear third party, whoever the hell you are.
Yes.
Run this thing for us in this miserable drab room
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, like so, it's weird. It's like I don't know who's running Big Phone Book. Is it like brothers? Who the hell knows? But like, it's just it's weird. It didn't make much sense. Doesn't make much sense, even as I think about it.
Yeah, it's probably better not to go too far down the rabbit hole. There's no way it's not madness on the other side of that.
Yeah, and it's the madness of the void. It's not the madness of new information. It's like you got caught in space for a long time.
Like you find out that you're the voice on the other side of that guy's road.
You find out like just like the end of Fight Club, like that's been you the whole time for all of this. Like you come back to the warehouse, you drive the forklift.
Just hard cuts to all these, like obviously you the entire time and stuff. And stuff. It's not just your garage.
I don't even have parents.
The house is full of them.
It's been 40 years. I got this job in the summer of 2005, and I've been doing it since then. Okay, well, Sumukh, we always make sure to ask a couple questions or to sort of round out, make sure we covered everything. So for this worst job, I think we know the question is, when were you done and how did you quit? You had a week and you just never went back. Is that what happened?
Yeah. So again, it's like, if you want the gig, keep doing the gig, right? And there's no quitting. You just disappear.
Yes.
So I came back, got the paycheck. They check marked that route. And I'm sure they asked if I wanted another route. And I just said no. And I left.
Yeah. And there was another training going on in the training room with another batch of people.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I don't know how the whole process, how long it takes for them, like how many people they get or how many routes they can accomplish. But again, it was like at the fairgrounds. So it was obviously for the entire Cuyahoga County. So you're talking about, where I live, like the west side of Cleveland, but then you're talking about, Lyndhurst and Willoughby Pizza, Jets Pizza needs a phone. So like over on
that bar in Parma where the clown's going to be.
Yeah. So they were covering a huge area, and I don't know how long it probably took them to accomplish it. But they also, like I said, they just didn't care. If you were willing to do it, then do it. If not, you don't want to do it? Like, we don't care anyway. Like, someone will eventually pick up these other routes. So kind of as much as you want to do it.
And when did you decide that you like? At what point in the training or the whatever did you decide? Oh, this is it. I'm one and done.
When the warehouse guys were loading up my car. It seems absolutely horrible. Why did I do this? But like, because I remember I'm just like, well, I can't back out now. These fucking guys are loading up the car with phone books. I can't tell them like, stop doing this, take them out.
Yeah. Although
like,
honestly,
okay.
I bet you did. I bet you if you're like, whoa, guys, please stop. They would be like, third time today, no big deal.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't say a word. They would just off it goes.
Yeah. There's like, you feel the sands of time slipping through your fingertips. We get it. Anyways, we'll take these back.
And my buddy also did it, and he told, but I think he went to a different session than I did, but he told me like the warehouse guys got mad at him because his golf clubs were still in the trunk, and he was just like, I didn't know you were gonna like load up my car with fucking a bunch of phone books. So it was just, I don't know. It was a very funny, unique experience. But yes, when they loaded up the car, I'm like, I'm not going to go through this. But I committed to this one route.
I'll get through it. Okay. Well, then question number 2 is, what would you say is one good thing you took from that very bad job?
I don't know. I mean, but this doesn't seem like a good thing, especially in the environment like we're in now, where it's like, I made a commitment and I did it with the job. That is a good thing. But in this case, it's like, no, this whole thing is terrible.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, I understand why some people don't want to work for a certain amount of money. Like right now, it's, or whatever's going on.
Trash.
People are, people are getting angry at people not working hard or whatever.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's like, no, the wages suck.
The wages suck, and also
not a livable wage.
I know that there is a shortage or whatever, but it's in the shortage of like I know that for some people they're affected, but like I don't know. I haven't seen any Starbucks collapse, you know? Like we have a fucking million of them. Who gives a shit? Maybe we shouldn't have so many goddamn shitty ass food places, for instance. Like, do we need them? I never asked for them.
Yeah. So that's where I can say like, yeah, I committed to it and that was nice. And that's a learning experience. But I can also see the flip end of like, you didn't have to do that. And you really kind of shouldn't have, because that wasn't a livable wage when it all came down to it.
Yeah.
Just like with everything with this job, anything that I could see as good with it has a very bad component to it. So there's a blanketed like good.
Well, you walked away without getting sucked in to the sandworm, you know?
Right.
Okay. Well, then question number 3, not related to that job, is, you know, we've had a pandemic. It's sort of over. I don't know. How you been? Any new, like, you know, any like new directions or changes for you over that time, or just how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Funny that we're talking about like jobs and stuff. So I obviously am a stand-up comedian, but I've had another career while I've been doing stand-up.
Yeah.
So that's been good. I'm a compliance analyst, and so I still have my job even through the pandemic. It provides me stable income. And so that's been good. And I balance both those things. And so I've been fine throughout it. Anyway, my job, I work remotely. So I've been used to like Zoom meetings and just kind of being at home anyway. So it's been okay. I've handled it all pretty well. From a comedy standpoint, you know, I certainly missed live comedy. I still did, you know, Zoom shows and still did some corporates that were virtual, which was a lot of fun. Like I found there's something very nice to just like doing your set, getting paid, and then still just being in your house. Like there's no more like, oh, I have to socialize or charm people or whatever. You just kind of do the job and it's done. So it had some positives to it all. So ultimately, I'm good. I'm out in Colorado now. And it's nice. That was weird in the sense of I moved out here because my partner lived out here and she was going to have knee surgery. So I was going to help her with that. And I was like, what the hell? Let me just leave my apartment in LA. I'll move out here. And I can always periodically come back to LA. January 2020. Then the pandemic happened. I was like, well, whatever. I just live out here now. And whenever I can go back to LA or visit LA, I'll do it. But so in a weird way, it all kind of worked out. As bad as the pandemic was, as strange as it was, I'm doing okay in both lines of work. So,
well, that's great news.
I can't complain.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
Sure. Everything is Sumukh Comedy. So my first name, SUMUKH Comedy. So SumukhComedy.com. And then all the social media stuff, Twitter or Instagram is at Sumukh Comedy.
Cool.
And then mostly through the pandemic, I've just been doing YouTube videos. Oh, yeah.
And also, I really like Samukh's blog, too. We'll put links to all that in the show notes.
Thanks.
But Sumukh always writes really cool things about comedy and really great stuff. I think about like what it means to have like a long-term relationship with creativity. I think that Sumukh really writes cool shit about that. So
thanks, man. Yeah. And that I did just kind of, when something comes to me, I just put it out there as opposed to making it some sort of periodic or weekly thing.
I just whenever he has a thought. But anyway, he'll post on all the we'll put all those links in the show notes so you can click around and find them. Well, thanks, man. It's been a treat.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Hopefully this was not soul sucking with
not at all.
As opposed to like
dude, I loved it.
Okay.
I thought it was tight.
Cool.
Well, fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks a bunch for listening, everybody. We are taking next week off to celebrate America. And so I can move. I'm moving my apartment, and I just can't put a whole episode out while I have to move things. So hang loose, hang tight. We'll miss you. See you next time. Bye for now.
Fuck this place.